No, he's taking it. He's our.
He ain't done it.
No, of course he's not. He said, right, I've handed it over to...
Shall we,
Call him, he's not coming.
all right.
Yeah. Hold on.
What's happening?
I've got so much to do. I've got emails coming in that's asking me about what's going on today.
Sorry, is that the main message though? That's not really the main message, is it? Because whether or not he was a black family or not is the injustice to the state.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah,
one,
but it's still one sign.
it's one message.
But in the context
it's one
of
very
the-
important
One of
message.
the other sides.
It's one of the signs, you know.
Okay, I see
I
what
made a
you're
range
saying.
of signs. I thought everyone else would resign.
This is more than that.
Oh, what's wrong with that?
Yeah. No, I did not say it was wrong. I'm just saying the message. What's the message? Yeah, that's
I mean, in the context where Lewisham Council keeps going on about Black Lives Matter, they go on and on about that. And, yeah, I mean,
I'm on Facebook.
should we
Should
we all get?
Yeah,
like,
we'll get some more next time. I would have gone on with it. That's why because of injustice, you know?
What's your message? What have you got? It was.
What if it was you?
It was you.
Oh, yeah. So you want to go this side?
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Maybe... Lionel, can you take the picture? Because you're...
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lionel's
you
going to take the picture.
We want this clear, don't we?
There's a couple of things I think nothing bad. I just need to ask you. Yeah. Wait for Andy first.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So disgusting. Hold on. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it sideways.
You're there.
No, not you. Can you see me? Because I'm short.
I'm getting as much as I can.
Alright. Oh yeah, the light. Hold on.
Should we
No.
come and duck
No,
under
it's
the
a
kids?
photo. Do you want a video?
Somebody's phoning.
Hold on, I'll take a picture.
Somebody's phoning me.
Yeah, Dennis.
Oh,
Oh, Glennie, go.
I knew that was going to happen.
Take on your phone so you can put it
Yeah.
Unite.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
United we stand, together we rise.
There we go. Good. Let's go. I even someone will put it onto the new shopper or something.
Yeah, I'll send it. Yeah. I did actually contact him, but it's a new reporter down there.
Hold on.
No, somebody else is viewing. It's on leave at the moment. Yes, so but usually she doesn't really cover Lewisham stuff, but she said she will do it. Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you. Oh yeah, she'll be taking it. Okay, alright. Stay.
Oh yeah.
Stay as you were. As you were. As you were. Should I ask Lionel to take it? Do you not take the photo? You need to be in the photo. Oh, yes. Yes.
Lionel, do you want to?
Sorry, yeah.
Yes, go on.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that all? You just took one?
3.
Oh, okay.
Everyone in. Take some more, you just squeeze in.
Oh, more? I'll squeeze in.
Okay. Say, housing is a human right. Housing is a human right.
Housing is a human right.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Right. Let's get sharing these.
My phone's not brilliant.
I was like, yeah, can you just send me?
Yeah, it's close. Yeah, I don't know how it's going to come out.
If you share it, well, if you share it to me,
Yeah.
and then
Just, I knew this was going to happen. I knew that was going to be. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Get that message. All phone calls will come through. As soon as he wants to take the photo. Oh no, it's not. Yeah, it's not to do with this. Unfortunately, yeah. Right, to you.
Thanks for sharing
So should I WhatsApp it to you?
WhatsApp it, and then I can
Yeah.
share it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
think I recognise
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm not on Instagram, but I'm on Facebook.
Hold
So,
on. Ian, we'll go to you.
Yeah, this is something that I've kind of
Bear with me, Mark.
myself for so long and fought with so much that it's literally. I got to my breaking point. I literally got to my breaking point.
Hold on a minute.
I've done so much so far. And it's one of the things where
Can I?
you're out there fighting everyone else, you're working
Get the
hard for
message.
everyone else, and you're doing what you need to do. And then basic things like housing, they're making it an issue. I mean, like you heard, I'm a frontline worker. I was out there working in COVID, taking people to work, bringing them home, and all the other stuff. And the least I would expect is a little bit of leniency when it comes to the housing situation. In a situation that they caused, not me. I didn't go out of my way to cause this. They caused it. So, like the saying goes, you fight fire with fire, and they're not going to like it. And all the procedures were followed. Everyone that's supposed to be contacted in advance has been contacted, and the issue is that the people that unfortunately were voted into power that's supposed to help stop this haven't replied. Councillor Bell's not replied. I gave permission. Cheryl's standing right there. She can show you the email. I can show you the email. I gave him permission via email. Release the document. Talk about my case. Regardless of whatever it is I've done, whatever they think gives them the right to do what they're doing. I have children. The children are my priority. If I was one of those parents that kind of thought, oh yeah, I'm going to go out raving and leave my children indoors on their own, then fine, fair enough, beat me over the head. But I'm out there, I get up every morning for my children. I come home for my children. And this is for my children. This ain't for me. I'm not looking to get, notoriety and publicity for me. This is for my children. I took the story out there for my children. And anyone that knows me knows I fight hard for my kids. And I've literally fought hard for my kids. And I'm just tired of it now. I'm just tired of it. And I know I can't be the only one. When I first brought the story to the media's attention, the reporter was quite shocked that I'm a Lewisham tenant. I said, trust me, I'm a long list. No one's ever. The problem is when Lewisham treats people how they treat me, most people just go, take it and walk off. They take the beating and go. I'm not going to do that. So if this names and shames them, then so be it. If this puts them out there, so be it. Lewisham Borough has been known for being one of the worst boroughs. They're known for it. They're known for being one of the worst because they don't care about their tenants enough to make the effort to do things properly the first time round. All other boroughs will make a conscious effort. Lewisham Council are terrible for it. They're known for it. They won't do it. They will not think, oh, you know what? Let me think about the guy that has 2 children. Let me think about the guy that gets up every morning and goes to work.
And the thing is, when I read the story, it was documented that you're doing all that you could for your kids. They still ignore.
That's part of the problem. Like I said, I can show you email upon email of where I've given them all the evidence about my son, all the evidence about my daughter, all the stuff that they've asked me for, apart from blood. They've asked me for it and I've given it to them. And even if I didn't give them, all you have to do is pick up the phone and ask to speak to that department to find out about that child. To find out about that child. But you're not doing that. You're not picking up the phone to ask anybody. You're just running on what you see on a piece of paper. You're not asking me or following through with me. I'm the one that's living this. You're not.
You're the human.
I'm the human that's living in this. They're not.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, it's pushed me to this point to have to do this. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, after that phone call this morning, it is going to raise a lot of eyebrows and it's going to cause a lot of headaches going to be caused because of this. But I look forward to the headache. I look forward to the headache because my children deserve better. They're always saying, oh, the children are the future and the children are the way forward. Well, I've done my part. No, you do your bit. Your bit is to let me have some place for them to call home. Some place that's safe, some place that's secure. At the end of the day, I shouldn't have to be going through this. My children are 10. My children are 10. I would really hate for my children, and this is one of the main reasons I did this, I would really hate for my children to grow up at 12, 13, 15 years old and still be living in a place like this.
Do you understand me? And
I've worked my entire life. I've never, apart from when my daughter was little, for about what, 3-4 years I claimed benefits because I needed to look after her. But as soon as I was eligible, she was old enough, nursery, I went back out and got a job. I went back out giving to society. And that's the thing that frustrates me. I work to pay taxes like everybody else does. But then people that are able to work, that sit at home and do this every day, get paid. They get paid. Some of them earn more than I do. Some of them, if you look at the statistics, right, you check it for yourself. People that statistically claim certain benefits earn more money than people that have a full-time job. I work 5 days a week. I have a full-time job. I'm not part-time. I have a full-time job. Monday to Friday, I have a job. Some of these people out there that are claiming these benefits are earning more than me. And they don't leave their sofa. They go to sign up, oh my leg, oh my knee. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just being lazy. But then they complain when the European people come over and take all our jobs. But you're complaining because what? Being a cleaner is beneath you. But you're earning money. You can earn your own money, turn your own key. And this isn't just a black situation. This isn't everybody's situation. I'm certain I'm not the only one that's been treated like that. And you're a hard-working person.
The thing is, I think the other people, they're not. They don't feel that they have a voice to voice their concern.
That's the problem. Like I said, I was on a radio station Saturday morning from about 25 to 11 till nearly 2 o'clock. This My Story segment was supposed to be half an hour. When people started realizing how bad this situation has got, it took over a 2-hour slot easily. And that's based on the fact of most people, when they're going through something, they'll sit there and go, okay, I understand your story, but yeah, I'm going through the same, but I'm not brave enough to say anything. This took a lot for me to do. I'm a very private person. And it took a lot for me to say, you know what, I'm not going to stand for this anymore. I have to, if I don't stand up, my nan always said to me, if you don't stand up for something, you'll fall for anything. And like I said, I'm not accepting anything but a free bed. I don't care what they do. They can tell me I owe them this and I owe them. As long as my rent is paid every month, I am not leaving here until they come to a solution that suits me and my children. Because as I know, Lewisham are quick to go, oh, yeah, take this and go away. You're not gonna just throw me any piece of scraps and then leave me to the side. That's how they operate. As you just said, they were talking about a building that they seized, and I've seen the video of the building. I know the building. The building was a nursery. The building was a nursery building. I know it for being a nursery when I've seen it. So you mean to tell me that it's okay for you to evict people that are looking after children in the building? It's a nursery. I'll show if you don't believe me. It's a nursery. It was a nursery. I know it. This is what I'm saying to you. People don't understand how Lewisham operate. As far as they're concerned, they're about one thing and one thing only: the money. They don't care. Look at, I'll give a fair example. Look at when they had all the COVID roadblocks. Half of that's a trap. It's a money trap. The moment you roll through it, money. I got 3 tickets within 3 weeks because I went through the same thing, and they put it one way, reversed it, put it back another way. I get paying out money. And that's another point. They keep saying,
that's all
I'm paying out more money than I got coming in. And I know that sounds impossible to do. I'm paying out money that I spent, like I say this to my kids all the time. I've always been a person to give to them, not to myself. I can't remember the last time I bought myself a pair of jeans. A pair of trainers. These trainers are about 6 years old. And I'm holding on to them. They got a hole in one shoe, but I'm still driving them. I'm still using them. And that's the problem. We as parents, we sacrifice, we as humans, we sacrifice a lot for our children to have a future. And 90% of these people, I can guarantee you, 90% of these people that are in these places of power either have children with a gold spoon in their mouth, not a silver one, a gold one, or they don't have children at all. Because if you was a parent, you'd be like, you know what, this guy's been through this, and this. They're not. Their version of reality is seeing something on TV. I guarantee you, none of them in any power position has ever lived in a temporary accommodation. Never had to turn the oven on to warm up the house. They've never lived that life. They don't know what that is. It's foreign to them. Their version of giving back to society is allowing a group of people a little bit of a youth home. And I said this to someone the other day. This is what I'm trying to avoid happening to my children. Because when you don't give your children an avenue to be able to express themselves, what do they then turn around and do? They find other avenues of doing it. Half the youth clubs that run here, do you know what? The adventure is probably, they should put up a landmark on the adventure. That adventure's been there for donkeys. My brother used to go there when he was this big. That's probably one of the longest lasting things in New Cross I can remember. Everything else they've shut down. Everybody's literally at the top of the road. That adventure, that's been there forever. But then other places that people, as the children get older, they can kind of develop skills. They don't give them that anymore. They've taken all that. They've taken all that away from the children and said, "Here you go. You're old enough. Go fend for yourself." Which is why a lot of them end up going to a life of crime. That's why a lot of them end up in prison, because the parents might have tried. The parents have tried and tried and tried and tried and tried, but the system always puts a block every time. Every time, block. Even down to things like Lido, swimming. It's disgusting. The other day, a friend of mine went to the one in Wavelengths in Deptford, the swimming baths where they used to have like all the slides and stuff. They've taken all that and it's like a swimming pool. It's one big pool. Nothing fun for the kids to do.
And then the money's being funneled into.
This is the thing, and I keep saying this to people. It costs the council so little to do something so major that they would rather leave everyone starving. Like that building, see the end of the street, we've got the orange board. That's a building site. Now that building, they knocked that building down, and that's been there for at least 2.5, 3 years. When they finally put something on there, I guarantee you, it's going to be housing for people not like me and you.
It's been like that for 10 years.
There you go, 10 years.
10 years.
So you will not be able to afford to live there when they do something with it. And this is how they operate. So like, there's one in on Queen's Road. As you're going, just before you get into Peckham, on your right hand side, that whole new building, housing estate, they knocked that down and rebuilt it. I guarantee half people that live there, it's housing association. Housing association ain't cheap. Housing association ain't cheap. So
That's another business actually.
That is run like a business. When I booked yeah, get me a drink. Anything, I don't really care. Get me a drink, I don't mind what it is. Yeah. So there is, yeah, that housing estate, I guarantee you, the housing association will not, they don't bend their rent. Their rent is stable. And I was explaining this to Cheryl how it works. So back in the day, you'd have, say this lady over here worked for housing association and she worked for council. Two separate things. You could approach the housing association and say, listen, I want to live in your house, I wanted this, I wanted that. Now they don't do that. They've combined the two. So if you get a bidding number and you bid for a property that's housing association, that's the only way you get to housing association. You don't do it independently anymore. That's how it used to be. When working people say, right, you know what, don't fancy living in the council house, I go to housing association. Because housing association was supposed to be better than council. Now they've combined the two and made it twice as hard. That's why the waiting list is so long. There's over 10,000 families waiting. If you ever go on any housing website, there's over 10,000 families waiting to be housed. And on the website, they have a chart that shows you the waiting list for certain size families. So a 3-bed, you're looking at least nearly a 10-year wait, without fail. And all that time, they either leave you in temporary accommodation or you fend for yourself. The problem with fending for yourself is if I leave here and I had followed what they wanted, I went to the private sector, I can kiss going back on the social housing goodbye. That's how it works. So once you're out, you're out. You can't come back in. You can't come back in. But yet, there are people that come into the country within a matter of weeks, are housed, benefits, they're set up good to go. When I put my article out, one of the first things that someone said was, "Oh, so what is the guy saying? That he doesn't want a private rented property?" And someone went, "But how can he afford it?" Because if you're working, the rent alone on some of the properties that I've seen, and this is local properties, and some a bit further out, 1,300. Now that doesn't include council tax, that doesn't include water, gas, none of that. That's just the rent. So I would have to get a second job. That means I would have to work day. I'd have to work day and night. Who's gonna watch the kids? What the TV? Who's gonna watch the kids? And this is the problem.
And then they'll call social to say you're leaving your kids on the table.
So like it's like a vicious cycle.
It's a circle. It never stops. And stuff like this is what stops it. If you are not willing to say, you know what, no, I'm going to stand up to you whether you like it or not. I'm not having it, because how is it fair for someone? And I'm not saying that everyone shouldn't have given this and given that, but how can you justify giving someone that lives in this country, works in this country, pays taxes in this country, his children were born in this country, which makes them British citizens. How can you quite happily say, oh, here, take a temporary accommodation? But a family that's come from thousands of miles away, don't know what their background is, don't know nothing about them, doesn't come with any trade, but it comes and goes, help. You'll say, here you go, there's a nice 3-bedroom flat in a very affluent area. Go on, knock yourself out. Have fun. And this is
that's a kick. Sorry.
It is true though what you're saying.
It's true. It's a fact. It is a fact. Even down to the fact of certain skin tones. Now I know a friend of mine that he said to me, his ex-wife had a friend that their daughter, the mum, had 4 children. Now we're having 4 children. The issue was that they, with having the 4 children, it was 3 girls. It was 3 girls, and she said to my friend, she said, you know what? I can't wait for the girls to get pregnant, because they'll get housed. Right? No word of a lie. 2 years later, the 16-year-old got pregnant and the 70-year-old got pregnant. Not only did they get housed, but they got housed in the same estate that the mum lived in. That is why a lot of people have said to me, if I was a woman, would I be going through this? Of course not. Of course not. The system is engineered and is based around only femininity. So as a man, I'm supposed to be strong, I'm supposed to be legitimate, and I'm supposed to be just getting out there and getting on with it. Not everybody's like that. Not everybody falls on their feet. Not everybody comes with a gold spoon in their mouth. I don't have a rich uncle or a rich aunt that can put me up in a 4-bedroom mansion somewhere. I'm a simple guy, working for my children, trying to afford to give them a better life than I do. And I'm brave enough to say it. I've lived a life where I think, you know what? Give my last pound to the kids so they can eat food. But at the end of the day, if I was to do that, they see me as being, oh, I'm not giving enough. I'm not being able to afford enough. But how can I? When the London living wage is the highest it's been for how many years? How? This is why, and the thing is, it's so much deeper than just the eviction. This is what people don't understand. I do most of my shopping. You can go on my cupboard now, and I don't have one brand name in there. You know what I have? Aldi and Lidl. Because I can afford it. Because it makes ends meet. I can put 2 and 2 together and make a meal out of that, and make it stretch for 2 days. So don't get me wrong, and I used to work for the big chains. I used to work for Sainsbury's. I did 2 years for Sainsbury's and I did 9 years for Safeway before it turned into Morrison's. So I know what I'm talking about when I say the London living wage is as high as it's ever been. The prices that we're paying for food is ridiculous. We're paying ridiculous prices for food. You can go into I dare anybody to go in Aldi and Lidl and pick up a product that matches anything from Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Morrison's, and tell me if you don't taste similarities. It's exactly the same. Yeah, it's the same. Because they're all made in they're made in the same factories. All it is a label change. That's it. It's label change. So me, I don't care if anyone says, oh, but that's a bit Trump. No, I quite happily shop in Aldi.
Food is food. Food is food.
I quite happily shop in Aldi.
Yeah. I mean, But
I quite happily shop in Aldi. I quite happily shop in all these places. But the whole point of me doing it all, and the whole point of me being like that, is that I'm showing my children, yes, life is hard, but you don't have to accept it for what it is. I've given my kids some wicked meals from Aldi and Lidl, based on my own Caribbean background and me cooking food how I want to cook it, not how the label says to. And the children love it. And this is part of the issue. The way, like I was saying earlier, the way how the system is taking it, we don't control our children anymore. The system does.
Yeah.
If you look back 10 years ago, you could come into a house and you and a child can have a 20-minute, 30-minute conversation about their day. You try asking a child that now, you'd be lucky if you get 5 minutes out of him. What did you do at school? Maths. What else? They can't answer. Because literally, all the information they had was in that bubble of a school environment. The moment they step out of the bubble, their brain switches off. And it only switches back on when they step back into school. Everything else takes their mind. TV, media. And I've been trying to say this to people for a very long time. Yes, it's all well and good letting kids have video games, but you set a limit.
Yeah.
You set a limit.
They make it and we take the time to engage in conversation.
They might not like it when you tell them. They might not like it when you say to them, no, you need time and you need all that. They don't like it, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Because otherwise, you're going to turn into a robot. They'll turn into robots. And that's what the system wants. The system wants robots. They want robots so they can say, right, do this, do that, do this, do that. Someone showed me the comparison between prison and school. And it's very similar. Think of it this way. They tell you when to line up, same as prison. They tell you when to eat, same as prison. They tell you when it's break, same as prison. The only difference is with prison and school is you can actually leave school. Prison you can't. But the same rules and regulations are set. Break, lining up, shower time, it's all regulated.
Yeah.
So, as I said when I went on the radio on Saturday, I'm appreciative of all the support. And that's one of the things I made a point of saying, is that pride is what took me so long to bring this story out. And that's what a lot of residents are finding. If you're living in a situation where you're deprived or you think like you're being discriminated against, you'll talk about it amongst your family, but you don't go out of your way to expose that. And if I've got to put myself out there to expose that, then so be it. Because of this, it's causing me health complications. I'm diabetic now. I've got high blood pressure now. I've always been an asthmatic, but I do have moments of tight chestness. And this is all off the back of the worry and the stress that I have. I mean, I'm 39 come the end of this month. I got more grey hairs than I'd like to admit to. And 90% of them are because of stress. And the worry, every time I push the door, what letter am I going to find today? And it's always for something that could have been avoided. As I can't remember her name, as the lady read out, what they're supposed to be doing, they never do. It's all smoke and mirrors. They say, oh yeah, we're here to help you, pick up the phone, blah, blah. But really and truly, you're here to help me with what? What exactly are you doing? You live in Lewisham, you know how long it takes for them to come and repair anything?
To be fair, I'm not from Lewisham, I just heard your story.
Well, wherever you're from, I guarantee it's better than Lewisham. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. If you live in Lewisham, you know what Lewisham's like. Lewisham is a borough that they only want to help you when you get to that point of desperation. You have to get that far down the line. Your toes need to be that on the edge of the cliff for them then to go, and now we're going to help you. No, you shouldn't have to do that. If I'm paying my council tax, paying my rent, paying all the stuff I need to pay, paying all this money out, you're supposed to give me a service that's top notch, top of the line. The amount of times that I've had people come here and took them 3 days to do one job. One job. They fixed my bath, right? A couple months ago. When the guy took the board away where the bath was, whoever put the bath in had used, you know, tiles that you put on the side of a bathroom? Yeah, they'd used tiles to level the bath off. Say for instance I went in the bathroom and I lost my foot and it fell. Not only would the tile have snapped, I'd have been dead. Because the whole thing would have, he literally had to rebuild a whole wood frame just to support the bath. When he opened it, I was just like, I was disgusted. I just could not believe that somebody took the time to put tiles underneath the bath. Like I said, the whole Thames Water thing. If I look through some of the letters I left, I guarantee I'll find a Thames Water letter in there asking me to pay for something. That's not me. Lewisham owned that land, that pavement. Lewisham owned this. Why should I have to pay out for something that I don't legally own? Because I don't own this building. I'm what they call a licensed tenancy. So this is why they can do and be how they are. Because as a licensed tenant, not a full tenant or an assured tenancy, they can basically say, right, you know what, we don't like you as a tenant, you got 28 days, bye. That's basically what they did. That's basically what they did. No regard for my children, no regard for myself, no regard for my mental state of mind, because this has caused my depression to come back. I was not saying I was getting over depression, but I was handling it. I was on the road to it. But since this has happened, it's all brought it back. I don't really sleep very well now. As I was saying to Cheryl, like, because I messaged her to find out if she was still coming. I said to her, every time I heard a leaf crush, because I was sitting on the stairs. I was sitting on the stairs on my neighbour's stairs. Every time I heard a leaf go, I thought, oh, is that Lewisham now?
Oh.
Because you remember, I was supposed to be out yesterday at 12 o'clock. On the 5th. The 5th was yesterday. But because the council does not work on a Sunday or a Saturday, no one would have turned up. But this is why everyone's here today, because they expect them to turn up this morning. And I expect them to turn up. I expect them to. And they're not going to like what they see. And regardless or not, now that everyone's here and everyone's sharing it and putting it out more and more, it's going to embarrass them even more. It's going to embarrass them even more. I just think that in these situations, as I said, it shouldn't take me to get to the extreme of having to go to the paper. If I've shown you my child has a condition, it should be so like, okay, you see your child's got a condition, let's pay attention to this and see how we can help.
Yeah, exactly.
Not bring more stress to it.
Exactly.
I'm telling you now, if I told my son what was going on, he wouldn't want to go to school. I can guarantee you.
I think because these people really, they are detached, totally detached.
They're detached from reality.
From reality, from the problem.
If they, as I said,
like
90% of these people,
I think they see him as a number, really.
90% of these people don't have children. And if they do, the children have come down through what they call generational wealth.
Yeah.
They come with a golden spoon in their mouth. They don't have to fend for them.
And then they think they expect people, you know, to understand. When they're really and truly, they're just so. This is why
part of the problem is when you have people going out to the homeless unit. You want to see desperation? Go to a homeless unit and sit there for 20 minutes. Parents are there with suitcases. I'm not making this up. You ask anyone.
I know. I work.
Yeah.
One of the charities.
Suitcases. Yeah. Of clothes, and their kids are with them. They're supposed to be in school, being educated. Yeah. The kid is with the mum and they're walking into this homeless unit and sitting there all day. All day just to try to get housed. Thank you. Then to be told, oh, we have no place for you. Because you know what it is? It's means testing. They want to see how determined you are. I went every single day for at least 8 to 9 days, every day. I saw the same person 3 times. When my number called, they've been, oh, you're back. I said, yeah, why wouldn't I be? Why wouldn't I be back? I've told you from start. They've closed the case, lost the case, and they now want to evict me from the property because they've lost the case. So they're throwing their toys out their pram. Why would I not come back? That woman is the one that said, you know what, I'm going to try to help you. But it's that determination they want to see, how hungry you are for it. Because I'm not coming in going, please sir, can I have some milk? No, I'm not doing that. I'm coming and saying, listen, I want to be housed. I want my children to have a home to come home to. And I really understand how parents feel when their child has been sitting and watching the parent suffer, stressed out, trying to get something good for them, knowing the system ain't going to give it to you. The system will give it to someone else.
And the kids do understand. They'll pick up that stress.
That's part of why.
They pick up the stress.
Part of why I've really tried to hide it from my son, because my son is a very sensitive kid, and if he sensed how I am, it would upset him a lot.
They pick it up so fast.
On a daily basis, you're really trying to keep it together. Really, really trying to.
Yeah,
I'll give you an
yeah,
example.
yeah. Honestly, yeah.
Literally, I was at work the other week and my story was out, and I was at work, and a driver that I know, she normally says hello to me. We don't really kind of really have much interaction. She came up to me and hugged me, and I burst into tears crying. I literally cried my eyes out. Now, I'm not a very emotional. I don't get like cry like that unless it's one of my children being born. But the fact of it is, I don't really cry like that. When I met Cheryl and Cole that day, I broke down into tears, and they both looked at me. That's why when I was on the radio on Saturday, even Cole said I nearly had him crying. I don't really cry like that. So you can imagine the amount of pressure I got on my neck because of these people worrying about, are my children gonna have a roof over their head? Let alone where's their dinner coming from? Because I get paid per week, so my money, I have to cut my money and then cut it again and then cut it again and then cut it again to make it stretch to the following week, or when the bills are coming, or when the rent's due, or when the car note needs to be paid for. So I'm basically a spider. I'm doing this, casting as many webs to keep everything from falling, and then I have this to deal with. This, the thing that should be the least stress. And that's one of the, like I said, that's what's annoyed me the most. These people do not have a heart. Because if anyone saw a child on the street living homeless, you as a human being would go, oh no, let me help that child. You don't know who the parents are, but let me help that child. But yet a parent that is standing up and saying, look, I want to be housed. I'm not looking to sponge off the government, because that's not what I'm doing. I'm not sponging off the government. I've been doing this job I've been doing now for nearly 4 years. This is what my story started. The complete stranger, nobody knows this man. He turns up and he's literally. He's on his own. A full-grown working man on his own. He's committed suicide. And they're chucking him in the fight. Look, you listening? No. There you go. See what you just said? Exactly what you said.
What court is that?
Southern. It's a faceless society, because I wanted a face-to-face. They give me, I'm the guy, they give me a month to move out, in the middle of lockdown, all the charity shops are shut, everything. I'm not supposed to do stuff. You don't expect me to just throw my whole life away. That's nothing to me. I'm homeless. Well, I've got 6 weeks to move out my house. With a whole flat full of stuff. I've got 3 animals, I've got 3 cats and a dog.
You know about London Renters Union?
No. But I start work, they say, oh no, you can go private.
We're a bunch of renters who support each other. We're some of the people who showed up today. We have a Lewisham branch. Right. But if you Google London Renters Union, I'm not saying probably.
I've lost it, mate. I could have done with all this last week. If I'd known about you last week, I'd come and seen you.
But if you need more time,
it's been the fault. I basically told them, well, I can't afford the cold, so what's it about?
If you're worried about getting evicted one day and you just need a bit more time, you can try and stop it happening on a certain day. Do you want to give me your number? I can text you soon.
Yeah, Lee. What's your number? 402 103.
Alright, I'll text me.
I want to check you. Take care.
Take care, Lee.
Take care.
a very decent wage. But yet the man couldn't stay in a one-bed flat. But as I was saying to you, this isn't a situation of just me being black. This is everybody.
Yeah, it's happened to
everybody.
Yeah.
And the worst thing about it is that they don't care. 90% of these people that are in places of power, position and privilege do not have children. They don't have a heart. As far as they're concerned, they get up in the morning and they get chauffeured to work. It's the same thing with the cycle lanes. I work for the buses. Half of the cycle lanes are a waste of money.
Of course.
They chop up the road, do this. They're about to put one.
Everything single file.
They're about to put one up in Deptford, and I guarantee you now, you think Deptford traffic is bad now? It's going to be 4 times worse.
It was absolutely horrendous.
Creek Road is bad enough when they were redoing Creek Road. Now they're redoing Main Deptford from just at the edge of Main Deptford all the way to Surrey Quays by that McDonald's. That's where the cycle lane is going to be.
And you know why as well? Because don't forget they've got 3,000 new homes that's going to be going up down in Deptford, down in the Wolf. That part of Deptford. They're going to be, it's literally, Lewisham is completely gentrifying the whole of this borough. And this is why I do what I do, because I'm also a housing campaigner, Catford Against Social Cleansing, and it's because of cases like this. Do you understand me? So when they're actually demolishing perfectly good council homes to replace them, they say improvements, but the improvements for who? Who are those? Who's going to be housed in there? It's going to be people that it's going to be basically people that live out of borough and coming here to purchase properties, because I'm telling you, those developments that they're building up now they've only maybe got about 3% social rented, not even social rented, genuinely affordable housing. Okay, this is what how they try to put a slant on it now in regards to how they're wording the housing situation, okay, and how about rents, because I've been on this campaign for 3 years, and Lewisham knows me, Councillor Bell knows me, and as I said, he's a housing and planning cabinet member for Lewisham, so he knows me very. So any time I send him an email, he knows he has to answer me. But I've done it in this time. I've done it in this time in regards in my capacity as Lewisham Trade Union Council President, because he's a union member. I am going to support him. He's one of my delegates. He's in Lewisham, so he's a delegate of mine. Do you understand me? So that's how I am going to support him as a president of Lewisham Trade Union Council. Yeah, but this is what's happening, and people are not waking up to the housing crisis, the problems that we have got in this borough. We've got over 10,000 people on the housing waiting register within Lewisham, and they're building up all these developments. They're sucking up to these developers, and they're not actually providing homes for those people that are on the housing waiting list. And that's why I do what I do. None of it's going to be for people like him. I'm okay. I've got a home. I'm fine. But at the end of the day, I've got to think about the next generation that's coming up. I've got to think about my grandchildren and other people's children as well. Are they going to have connections, social network connections with their borough? Are they going to be living out in Luton? Because this is what they're doing. They're housing people in temporary accommodation out in Luton.
Not cutting you. That's what they tried to do to me.
There you go.
When I went to remember I said to you, I went to the homeless unit every day for like 9 days. After I got to speak to someone, they said, "Oh, it looks like you're gonna have to move out of borough." I said, "Sorry, why is that?" "Oh well," and they showed me a map, and they said, "We can send you anywhere within 90 minutes by train on this map. Anywhere." So that could be Manchester, Birmingham, Luton, you name it, they can send you. And if you don't have a real a reason to stay here, you have no choice. You're gone. That's it. That's back to family, friends, colleagues. And the only reason I stayed was because of the ECHP plan my children have. Because of it, because it's education based, they have to leave me here. They had to leave me in borough. If I never had that and I didn't fight for that, I'd have been gone. I wouldn't be here.
And this is what they do, because there's
you just don't know you're not on your own.
Absolutely, because this is what they're doing. They're housing. They're giving you temporary accommodation in Luton, okay? But your children could be going to schools that are actually within Lewisham. So So for them,
Wait,
like,
so you're going to be in Luton and after bring
you can, yes. If you don't, you've lost your connection to Lewisham. So then they've got no rights to rehouse you. So this is why you're finding that families are travelling all over to come back to make sure that their children have got a home, a schooling within Lewisham. Otherwise, they've lost their connection. And this is what they do. This is what they do.
If I accept the rubbish that they were calling me on my phone for,
isn't it a contradiction as well? It's a contradiction because when you want to put a child into school, they say you're outside the catchment area, so you can't put that child in.
Yeah, so, but because you was a resident, but it's no fault of your own. They put you through it's okay.
What if you want to change borough? So say I wanted to go to Southwark or go to Lambeth. 3 problems. 1, I'm not a resident. 2, I need to have 5 years. 5 years minimum living in that borough. And the third one is that because I'm not from the borough and I don't live in the borough, they don't have to help me. They don't care. This is why people, when they're in the borough, they hold on to it for dear life. Because they know once you're out, you are out. You can't come back in.
Absolutely.
My sister, she lives in Southwark.
This is Lewisham.
Right, but she was in Southwark.
Facebook.
The problem.
I'm okay. Because
the problem. I'm fine. This is my. There's nothing that I don't hide. My story's already out.
Is it live or you
if
just
I'm
going
taking
to
it
put it
to the local,
No, first I had it live,
and it's
then
gone
I turned it
everywhere.
live.
I got nothing to
So
hide.
just record.
I got nothing to hide. And
Absolutely.
And this is part of the problem. As far as they're concerned, they will put an envelope, they'll put pressure on your neck, and you'll go, all right, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go. And the moment you don't do that, and you say, no, actually, I'm gonna stand up to it. But you lot, that's why I put it on loudspeaker. You all saw it. Literally, 10 minutes of these lot being here, my phone's ringing, and I've gone, oh yes, hi, I'm from Lewisham Housing Block. I said, oh,
Really?
so
You know me, no,
yeah, go on. But watch this, the phone call, she's like, oh, we need to go through the security to prove who you are, But you phoned me. You phoned me.
Why do you need to sense?
Why do you need to prove I am who I am?
But don't forget, you've got consent. They've got consent.
And I gave them consent. Cheryl emailed Councillor Bell. I was CC'd into the email, and I said on the email, go ahead, talk about my case. So now she's like, oh, well, we need to verbally do it. Verbally? I said, so what? Is someone hacked my email then? So someone pretending to be me? Because I don't know anybody that would like to take the shit I've taken.
But this is the thing though, because even though she said that, yes, she's got an I don't know if she's got an email or a phone call from Councillor Bell.
She's probably got an email.
She's got an email, and within that body of the email, they've said yes, and you can also speak to Cheryl McLeod.
So they know who Cheryl is.
Absolutely.
He's basically passing the buck.
No, it's not happening.
He's batting it to someone else to deal with because he don't want to deal with it. Because the fact he's going to be embarrassed, not embarrassed, embarrassed, and he don't like it. He don't like it.
Absolutely, Anthony.
I've made a point. I've followed all the procedures and done everything that I should do the right way. I've reached out for help, and this is the worst thing about it. They sit there and say, oh yeah, we've got council services for this and council. Let me tell you something for free. You have to be, and I said it to someone when I was on the radio on Saturday. Here's the problem. They said to me, one gentleman said, because my child, I'm not claiming for him, that's the reasons why they're not acknowledging his situation. And his words were, we're going to look past that. The second person, his manager, who was supposed to be the independent party, wasn't the independent party. He was the biased party because they both told the same line.
You protect your staff.
So you're not independent, as you say. You're not. You're basically looking out for your friend. Yeah.
Absolutely.
He said, and his words were, you could not have been having that much of a mental situation that we're going to take seriously. So in other words, I should have been sitting in my house, staring at a wall, dribbling every day, up to my eyeballs in drugs. I've been down the road to take antidepressants, and it made me aggressive. It made me very, very aggressive, and that's why I stopped, because I thought to myself, if I keep taking this stuff, I might hurt my children one day, and I'd rather not do that. So I thought to myself, do you know what? Let me just put things in compartments in my head, instead of having it literally just going around like a pot of soup. And that's the thing that's really disgusted me. So you've gone from now being a housing person to being a psychologist. You must have had a really great CV when you came for this job.
Yeah.
I went to university and I'm a psychologist, but you know what? I'll be a housing officer for now.
Yeah.
That'll do. That'll do.
Yeah, just pick that one.
And
Did you record the telephone conversation this morning?
What, this one?
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't need to record it. I've got live recording. We was all standing in the semicircle and I kind of went, and I catch around and I went, bloop! The whole people heard it.
Brilliant.
Because at the end of the day, I'm not doing the whole duck cover on the. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
They know what they've done. They know how they've ignored my son. And even the reasons that your friend has told you about, I understand where they're coming from with that. But that was rent arrears, and I made a point of it. That was rent arrears caused by how the systems operate.
Right.
If I earn a certain amount, the housing benefit goes, nope, earning too much, let's cut that. When you then redo the claim, which takes 6 weeks for it to kick in, you then all that time the rent arrears is building, and they don't look at it like that. It's so hypocritical and contradictory. It's ridiculous. So how are you going to say to someone, yeah, go out, earn a wage, go out, earn. And then the housing benefit will say, oh well, you see, now you're earning, we don't need to give you as much.
We're not going to help you now. So
ever since I've got the job I got now, they're like, oh, you earn too much, so your housing benefit is, I don't know, 50p. They don't care. They don't care. And this is part of the issue that the local authority quite happily keep hidden. They keep it hidden because people don't realise the amount of money that the local authority makes is ridiculous. They make
claim they haven't got any.
They make, and the thing is, they're quick to say, oh, we
ain't got nothing.
Listen, they make a killing every time a new developer puts up a flat. They have to pay something towards the local council. Same like when they put up any new building that has a supermarket underneath it. Tesco's, Sainsbury's. A lot of people don't know this. Tesco's themselves get a pinch, or Sainsbury's get a pinch of the rent that the people in that block are paying. That's how the shopping. So you know, you get the normal supermarkets open from 9 to 5. This is why the little ones, little locals, they're open till 11 o'clock. Because you as a resident, I mean, everyone has done it. You're in a shop. You go to a shop and you think, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go down my little local and then pay double the price. But that's how these people make their money. A pinch goes to the council and a pinch goes to Sainsbury's or to Tesco. Everyone gets their own little cut. But you know who loses out? Us. We lose out, and that's part of the problem. And I said to myself, no. I knew the date was coming, and I said, no, you know what? I know I can't afford to go to county court, because that's what they basically told me. Take, you want to appeal, go to county court.
And you've got to pay for it.
County court ain't cheap.
They got rid of the legal aid, didn't they?
The legal aid now.
So you don't get no help.
The legal aid stipulation is you need to be earning. If you earn 2,637 and whatever pence, that then stops you from from getting legal aid. Anything below that, then you're fine. But then the issue is, it's then the timing it takes that solicitor firm to sit down and do the means of expect all the ins and outs for you then to be told, okay, we can then help you with legal aid. And even with legal aid, the legal aid in itself is also restricted to a certain point. Because you can't really bring the big people, the ones that are really in charge, you can't bring them to full. They'll pass it on to one of their underlings. That's why when I met Cheryl, I said to her, listen, I emailed someone called Kim Wright, who is the chief executive of Lewisham Borough. She's the top of the food chain. The only one above her is Mr Bell. So she's the top of the food. I emailed her and said, listen, and I attached my story. I said, look, this is the situation, X, Y, Z, blah, 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 blah. I got an email back in 20 minutes. Oh yeah, we passed it on to senior management. I've not heard a word from them since. Not a word. So they must have realised that I'm attached to Cheryl and attached to Cole. They probably thought, oh, you know what?
This is going to be a bit difficult.
Let me just turn and go the other way and leave him alone. No, don't leave me alone. I want to hear from you. I've now put your face and your name out there for the world to see. What are you going to do about it? And like as I said before, I'm accepting nothing but one or two things. They either leave me alone and move me up the bidding system. And the thing is, that's the problem. I've had a bidding number. See you later. From when I 2019, I had a bidding number, and I've been bidding ever since. My bidding number only stopped this year when the first guy manager took me off the bidding system. So if you, that's like me saying to you, look, here's £10, and wait till you go to spend it and goes, actually, you know what, let me take that back.
Yeah.
How can you give someone something that gives them a little bit of hope and I say to them, nah, you don't deserve it now?
They're wicked, that's why.
Yeah.
You don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. So my bidding numbers stopped.
So you
hasn't
can't
worked.
bid, no.
Can't bid, and that's now what, a full month I've not bid. So you can either move me up the table, put me into priority
Put
bidding,
you in somewhere,
yeah,
or just give you a proper
give me a property.
accommodation.
And before they say, oh, we ain't got any properties, you're lying.
Yeah.
We know you have properties.
Yeah.
You might have properties around Lewisham that are
But they
boarded
must been
up.
put up. Yeah, there's boarded up and
there might
they're
be
put
properties
up.
that have gone up.
Yeah.
And the rent, look, it's not everything isn't just about money. It ain't all about money. But the fact of it is this: if someone's supposed to live within their means, and someone's supposed to be able to do the basics for their life, don't chop off their hand and then say to them, right, now live.
Yeah.
So you can't offer me a property. You can't put, because originally before the kids turned 10, they said to me I only qualify for a 2-bed. And it's a boy and a girl. So I'm like, so what? I'm supposed to live with my son in my room for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
Nah. That's not fair. So when they turned 10, they redid the system.
Yeah.
Now, yet again, this is the point that I've made. When they first gave me the bidding number, it could have been a mistake. I would have accepted that after a year, but we're nearly 3 years in now. I would have accepted it. But when they reorganized the system this March, and they said, okay, we're gonna do a new setup and a new layout and whatever, fine. I put back in my details that I've always had, and guess what? It still worked.
Right.
And they upgraded me to a 3-bed. So I thought, okay, I'm still being accepted here. So at that second point, if they'd have said, oh, hold on, wait, that one doesn't seem to be in the right place. Let's stop that one.
They would have said something, innit?
No. So that's March, April, May, June, July. 5 months I was still bidding. And no one noticed.
And then the new change.
And then all of a sudden, this is with the new change, and all of a sudden now, now he's got a housing problem. Let's stop his bidding number so he doesn't bid for the next month. And it's been like that ever since. I can't bid. And I realised that the man had stopped it because when I pressed the button to let me into the thing, it said to me, oh, this email or this number isn't known with the system. Oh, okay, so you've stopped it now. Okay, great. So, now what? And this is part of the problem. Like the saying goes, they expect you to put up and shut up. Well, I ain't shutting up, and I ain't putting up.
And they put a label, like, you made yourself intentionally homeless.
See,
I mean,
now,
how can you make yourself homeless if you've got temporary accommodation? So that means that they've given you the accommodation in the first place
what they're
and
saying,
accepted your
right?
story then.
Here's what they're saying. They're saying they intentionally made me I intentionally made myself homeless. Based on the fact of, I was going through a mental breakdown at the time. And naively, without thinking, because I wasn't in the right frame of mind, I made a choice, a sensible choice, to think of my children.
Yeah, but even if that was the
I
case,
walked out
even if that was the
to
case,
save my children.
but even if that was the case that he was going through a mental breakdown, they can't make you responsible for that because that was an illness. No,
they don't care about that. That's the man said.
That's an illness, isn't it? That's not something that all right. I'm going to go into depression. I'm going to go into, nobody makes that decision.
Well, as the man said, I could not have been in that much of a mental situation that I could not perform daily tasks. So daily task is rubbing your eyes, picking your nose, putting socks on,
eating,
cooking, them kind of things. Those are daily tasks. Switching on the kettle, turning on the television. Those are daily tasks. Brushing your teeth, putting clothes on is a daily task. So please tell me, what should I have been doing? Like I said, sitting in the room, staring at the wall, dribbling, high as a kite with drugs. Then you would have taken me seriously.
They would have preferred that.
No,
they would have helped you then.
Why?
They would have helped you then.
Why?
They would have taken your children away, but they would have helped you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you're going to take my children, and then what?
I think that's the crux of it.
And what? Stick me in a padded room?
They want your children.
No. But this is the problem. They might say they want my children, but here's the thing: what do you want them to do?
What they do with the children. Because social services is a doorway for the paedophilia and all of those kind of rings.
Okay, well, see, I didn't include this in the main story, but my daughter, when she was born, because of previous situations with her mum had previous social services involvement. I knew nothing about it. I was innocent to that. But when they found out she was pregnant with my child, they didn't want to let me step in and be the parent. They was, yeah, your jaw's going to hit the floor. They was ready, I kid you not. They had the name, the area, parents picked out. All they needed was her date of... Hand to God. They had her date, all they needed was her date of birth and her time. If I didn't fight when I did, she'd have been gone. I didn't ever know my child.
Disgusting.
So when people saying, oh, that it's a vendetta, there is a vendetta. Because they've never liked me from then. That's 10 years ago. My daughter's 10 now. 10 years old. And they've never let that go.
Yeah.
No, we want that child. We must have that child.
No matter what.
And I've gone through, as they say, fire and brimstone. So if they think that they're gonna continue to kick me, and I'm gonna go, please sir, can I have some more?
Yeah. No, God.
Like I said, I would really hate my children to be 15, 16 years old and still living in a home like this. They can't bring friends around to this. And the thing is with these situations is that parents that are doing the best for their child, parents that are fighting for their child, when the system's supposed to say to you, you know what, well done, give you a pat on the back. No, they go, nah, I ain't kicking in the face. That's what they do. And it's a shame that I've had to go to these extremes for people to see the rubbish that Lewisham are constantly pushing down our throats and we're supposed to take it. I mean, perfect example, look at the black market that was in Lewisham.
I know.
That was known.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
Yes.
Anybody's, you live in Lewisham, yeah, what, the black market? Everybody knows the black market.
Yeah.
Now, what is it now? A little shake a leg and buy up expensive food.
For who?
I don't know. And the thing is, I don't think any black people actually own any stores in there.
No.
I've been in there once just to see what it's like. Basically, it's a tiny little village of all places that cook food and everyone goes and drinks and they have fun.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's what they wanted it
We don't have a
for.
black market now.
No.
We don't have that. And for you to have one, you gotta go far out. There's no way. You can't even say in Peckham. You can't even say in Peckham now. You have a traditional black market because you don't.
No.
The problem is, and I said this to someone the other day, all of the things that we had, our ancestors came and put into this country, into this borough, have now been taken over by other people.
Yeah.
There's not many black-owned businesses left anymore. I can't say to my son, yeah, that business is owned by a black man. And even my story, I emailed The Voice. The first paper I emailed was The Voice, and that's a black-owned paper.
Yeah.
To this day, I ain't got a response. To this day.
They're towing their line, aren't they?
They pick up what they want to pick up. And situations like this, I hope situations like this
should be
really open their eyes to this. Because if you're a black-owned business, black-owned paper, you should be picking up this story like that. You're just thinking, hold on, one of my brothers or one of my sisters is in a situation that they need my help, and I have a platform that I can speak to the masses. I've got a petition that I started, right? And the petition has got nearly 250 signatures from my own doing it. And I've kind of spread the word as much as I can spread the word and everything else. You go into change.org. And you go into it, and it says browse petitions, and then
I do know Paul Bell a bit. I've seen him because he was a legend back in the day. I've seen him as more one on the left. They're a bit trade union friendly, a bit things in unison. Yeah.
Right, you search the petition, and you put my name in, and it should come up. Highlight that bit, you press the highlighted bit, and then it will say sign a petition at the bottom. And I did it off my own back. That's not with Cheryl or Paul. I did this off my own back. Just for the fact of I wanted to bring people.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it takes, like the saying goes, it takes a village to raise a child. But it also takes a village to support each other. Because the thing is, this is a very, everyone that knows me across knows this is a very, it's a black oriented area. Some people have been living here for generations. Generations people have been living here. Like I said, my brother used to go to the adventure up the road. He still lives here. He lives literally 2 minutes away from it. That adventure should be a landmark. It's been here for so long. They might have refitted it, changed it around, but it's still there. And that's one of the problems. Because of how they realise that we're trying to better ourselves and trying to be better at what we're doing, they don't like it. And they think, right, if I put my foot on his neck, how far is he going to go? Let's push him to the limit. Well, you know what? This time, I'm pushing back. They don't like it because they're going to come and see that and they're going to go, oh, because they already know of these people. And that's the thing. That's what Cheryl said to me. They know of these people. They know of them. So they know. From I'm dealing with these people, they know that it's a nest of trouble. They're not going to let it go. Regardless or not of the rent arrears, regardless or not of temporary accommodation, regardless of all the other rubbish they want to come with, the primary objective of this is to get my children a better place to live, and not be bullied, because
it's not better, a place to live.
Well,
decent living accommodation.
Well, without being rude, I don't personally think this is adequate. Not to the fact of, oh, it might have this for that. No, I should be able to have a lock, where I can turn my own key. And I showed it to someone earlier, right? If I put it up, because it's a magnetic lock, right?
It's one of those. It's one of those.
Watch. Don't push the door. Easy as that. I saw my neighbour do it the other day and I was like, oh, bro, it's easy as that. Yeah, see, your jaw hit the floor. How is that secure? And the thing is, don't get me wrong, they've given us one street light. But when it's dark out here, that tree doesn't really allow much absorption of light. And that's part of the problem. From the front door, it's not secure. Even the doorway, there's no light in this doorway. So over night time, when I come home, I go towards my door, and I purposely have my finger with my key like that. My key's like that with the door like this. If anyone turn at me, I have to defend myself because the lighting is rubbish. And that's not just mine. None of these doorways have got light on it. That's why they've got that light on at all times. That light that's up there, it's on all day, every day, till the bulb blows. That's their version of good lighting. So you push the door, it's like walking into daylight. And this is part of the issue. They're saying it's not adequate. It's not adequate. It's not adequate at all. Not just for myself, but for any human being. COVID, the whole of COVID, all of us, from that house window there down to that one, all had to share the same washroom. What? Seriously? I kid you not, I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. We all had to share the same washroom. So whenever we had to go out to wash, had me gloves, I had to wipe down before I did anything.
Sanitize it stuff.
I had to sanitize it. And when they came in to clean, they would then clean it down again. I'm telling you. Yeah, so we literally all had to share the same washroom. And if when we realised that someone was in there, we'd have to go and come back. So I'd sometimes be sitting in my room, wait for a good 2.5 hours because the person's washed, then gone back to dry. Because we didn't want to cross-contaminate. We don't have our own washing machine. Pardon?
Where was this washroom?
The washroom, right, you see this block here? The washroom is at the back end of this block here. So if you live at that house there, you got to walk.
It's all knocked into one.
You got to walk all the way down.
Oh, is that all right? I really did, man. I say it, you know, like, it's desperate for me.
And there's no lighting. There's no light at night time. See that broad daylight? It's fine. Of an evening, from the moment it gets dark outside, you're having to take your phone like a torch. And I've phoned them about that many times. And they got big, you know the big like fog lights you have? They've got big fog lights behind it, but they don't work. I've phoned them on one occasion. Just listen, you need to get someone to fix the fog light, because at night time you go out, say you want to do washing at 2 o'clock in the morning, there's no light for you to see.
So how are you managing? Because you're working. How are you managing?
I have to put it like this. I'm up at 20 to 5 most mornings to get ready for work, sort the kids out, drop them to my friend that takes them to school for me, because my shift, by the time they start school, I would have already been at work. When I come home, I then have to sort. Sometimes when they're at my friends, they'll get dinner there, or I'll give them dinner when I get home. Then when I get home, do the normal decontamination of them, myself, and everything else. Depending on the time, I might have a little bit of time with me. Then once they go to bed, then that's when I do the housework. So you got the washing, or the washing up, or whatever. So most nights I don't go to bed till 10:30, 11 o'clock. To then get up again at 20 to 5. But this is the thing. These people don't care.
You need a stable home.
What grounds is it that they say you're making yourself potentially
The grounds of I made myself potentially homeless because when I was going through a mental breakdown with the ending of my marriage, I made the choice to not let my kids see me argue with their mum every day, and I made the choice to say, you know what, I want to save what little bit of brain I got left, and I moved out. I moved out. They said from the moment I stepped foot, I made myself homeless. So I purposely made myself homeless.
Okay, so why did they give you temporary accommodation then?
Why did they give me a bidding number? It's even deeper than that.
Then they wouldn't have helped you, would they?
Well, this is my point. But because I
temporary accommodation, you're here. How many years? And then
I've been here 2 years. I've been here 2 years. So from I first saw the guy in 2018, and then the guy that did the first letter reappeared or messaged me 2020. So 2 years, nearly 2 years, the guy just vanished. And the excuse he gave me was, oh, there was a backlog. How is that my problem?
How many years?
Yes.
How many years?
that you had a breakdown, and that's not right.
Thank you.
You've got your children and your kids.
The way they look at it, and this was the guy. The first guy's name was Richard Roger. He was the one that said I made myself potentially homeless. His manager was the one that then turned around and said, oh well, I couldn't have been having that much of a mental breakdown that I could still perform daily tasks. So basically, I should be sitting in my room, staring at a brick wall, watching the TV, not with the TV on, but just watching it, dribbling. So that means I should have been sitting in a chair with my own excrement, basically. He's not a psychologist. So my thing is this: how are you in the right of telling me that I made myself homeless, is what you're saying. 2, you're telling me that my child, who I've shown you a whole pile of evidence, my son has ADHD, and I've told them this. My son has an ECHP plan, which is more or less a statement. I'm waiting for the follow-up appointment from Kaleidoscope. COVID came along and put a stop to that, because his appointment was supposed to be 9 months after the first one in February 2020. Then I got a letter in July this year telling me, oh yeah, your son's still on the list, but the list is now 12 to 20 months long.
That's not good. You don't. This is about the 20 years.
My son is going to go into secondary school next year, and I even to the fact of it's even more proof. The ECHP plan that.
Oh, you got a reply.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Cut that a minute. Right. So.